You are ready to sell your home. You want top dollar, but you do not want the home to sit on the market for months at a time. So, how do you price your home just right? Not too high, not too low, but right on the money. In this video, I am going to break down how to get your home to sell fast for top dollar without leaving any money on the table. Hi, I am Lashonda Solomon, Associate Broker, assisting buyers and sellers navigate the Metro Atlanta real estate market. Now, the price that you set can either attract buyers or turn them away. Studies show that homes that are priced correctly from day one will sell faster and will sell closer to your asking price. Overpricing the home can cause the home to become stagnant, lead to pricing reductions, and make the buyer wonder, what is wrong with the house? Let's talk about some of the biggest mistakes sellers make when pricing their home to sell. The first one is pricing emotionally. Your memories are not factored into the market value of the home. Perhaps you grew up in the home or you raised your own family in the home. These are examples of how you could use a personal attachment to cloud your judgment when selecting a list price. Another pitfall would be upgrades in the home that may not appeal to all buyers. For example, if you upgraded a wine cellar and you have buyers who don't drink or do not entertain in that way, then those upgrades will not appeal to them. The second mistake is ignoring your competition. Buyers are checking out your competition, and so should you. So when you price the house to sell, you want to look at the market and see what other homes in the area are selling for. The third mistake is testing the market. Sellers sometimes want to price the house high to see what kind of feedback or activity that they may get. Sellers often overprice the home as a negotiating tactic. This method almost always backfires. Let's say you list your house at $510,000, but you know that you'll negotiate as low as $500,000. Because the house is overpriced at this point, buyers with a max range of $500,000 will never see your home. Additionally, if the house is sitting on the market too long, buyers will wonder why the house hasn't sold. And lastly, overpricing can lead to price cuts, lowball offers, and stale listings. So, how do you actually figure out the right price to put on your home? The first one is check out the competition. Buyers are. Pull comparables, or comps as we may also call them, and see what you're working with. You want to pull comparables from the last maybe 3 to 6 months in your neighborhood. Sometimes you may have to expand outside the neighborhood and go up to a mile. On some occasions, your search may have to go past that 1 mile mark if there are no suitable comparables or if your home has unique features. The second thing to do is adjust for any features or upgrades that your home may have that the comparable may not have. For example, if you have an older home, say maybe built in the 1980s, you may have done updates in your home, and when you pull a comparable, you want to make sure that comparable has similar updates, also has similar square footage, similar bedroom and bathroom count, similar lot size. These are just a few of the things that you need to consider. Another thing is to pay attention to the square footage. I just mentioned this, but you want to pay attention because if your house is 1,500 square feet and a neighboring house is 3,000 square feet, you have to make adjustments. You can't assume that a buyer is going to pay the same amount for your 1,500 square foot house that another buyer paid for a 3,000 square foot house. And lastly, you want to use a professional comparative market analysis. Again, we call it a CMA or comps. This can be done by a real estate agent, and they can pull all of those features, such as the square footage, bedroom and bathroom count, things like that, that will help to determine the accurate price for listing your home. Another thing to consider is that market conditions matter a lot. In the seller's market, you may be able to price the home a bit higher in order to get some activity or get a sale on the house. But in a buyer's market, you have to be a little more competitive with your price. Don't try to price over your neighbor's houses. You want to price maybe a little bit lower, if not equal to, so that you can get the same buyer attention for your home that your neighbors are getting for theirs. Inventory levels, the average days on the market. Also consider the interest rates and local demand for your neighborhood. There are a couple of pricing strategies to consider. You may want to price your house just under the threshold. For example, if you price your house at $304,000, buyers may be looking in the 250,000 to 300,000 market, and because your house is slightly above that threshold, it may get overlooked. You also have to leave room for negotiation, but again, don't price it so high, because most people think if I price it high, then the buyer's going to come in and try to negotiate lower. But if you price it right to begin with, the buyers won't have to come and negotiate. Another strategy is to create urgency. Homes that are priced correctly will get more showings, create more interest, and get quicker offers. A lot of people like to use Zillow in order to get a zestimate of their home. Zillow is convenient and it's a great tool for just checking things out. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, you want to use something a little more reliable. And I'm not knocking Zillow, but Zillow doesn't take into consideration any upgrades you've done in a home. Zillow doesn't take into consideration your lot size or even your GLA size. Zillow doesn't even take into consideration the vibe of your neighborhood. So while it's great to get some general information about the neighborhood, you still want a comparable market analysis to help you make a more defined decision in regards to pricing your home. Here's the bottom line. Your pricing strategy is your first impression. You've heard the saying, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. That is especially true in the real estate market. If you price the house correctly, you will attract the right buyers, you will get activity, and you will get an offer. If the house is priced too high, then you're chasing the market. If the house is priced too low, you could leave money on the table. A great real estate agent can help you navigate the market, pull comparables, and help you create a pricing strategy to get your home sold. If you're thinking about buying or selling or have any other real estate questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to help. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you were able to gain some valuable information. Take care.